On my right, there's two bulls fighting. I can see them going, their bodies moving back and forth between the trees. And then all of a sudden I hear this.
Didn't go 20. Woo!
I shot him. Did you hear that?
No. We both just shot the same bull.
Shot him first.
He shot him first. Oh my gosh. What a heck of a pursuit, dude. All freaking day.
Just dropped my first archery bull elk. 6x6. Right behind the shoulder. Dropped him. You dropped him, Dad.
Dad, you dropped him. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, Father, we praise you. Thank you, Lord. Congratulations, Dad. You just shot your first bull elk.
I think we're gonna find one.
Love you. So happy for you.
When your buddy calls you, says you got a buck down. And what does he got? A buck down.
Look what I found.
What a sweet dude, man. Opening day, heck yeah. Way to go, Steve.
See, the arrow went in pretty deep. That's buddy. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Arizona Archery Club is a premier partner with Bowhunting AZ. When it comes to attention to detail and a fiery passion, Arizona Archery Club brings it all to the table. With all the latest bows and archery equipment, you can demo every single model in person free of charge in their multiple demo rooms. Walk through the process with an experienced bow tech and see which bow is right for you without the sales pressure. Their indoor archery range offers air-conditioned lanes where you can shoot out to 40 yards. Take this awesome opportunity to hone in your accuracy and technique. When you visit, be sure to mention that you're a listener to the Bowhunting AZ podcast. Let's all support local. National Automotive Repair is a locally owned and operated auto repair shop in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. Jake McLaughlin and his team operate their business with a foundation of honesty, quality, and integrity. From routine oil changes to larger mechanical repairs, National Automotive can solve your issues and have you back in operation. The shop is located right off of I-17 and Thunderbird off Sweetwater Avenue, or call Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 at 602-978-3278. Built mountain tough, Scree Gear offers hunters the highest quality clothing for affordable prices. With patterns designed by military concealment specialists, Scree Gear brings you closer to the game without being detected. With every climate in mind, Scree Gear hosts a huge selection of clothing for all the terrains of North America and beyond. Check out Scree Gear today at www.screegear.com. Use promo code BowhuntingAZ for 15% off your first order. Real estate agents, are you looking to make your listing stand out? Arizona Listing Media has been transforming real estate listings since 2013 with their 5-star Google-rated services. Arizona Listing Media offers stunning photography, captivating drone footage, immersive 3D tours, and engaging video reels to showcase your properties at their very best. Are you ready to elevate your marketing game? Visit ArizonaListingMedia.com and book your session today. Let's make your next listing unforgettable.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Bowhunting AZ podcast. We are on location today out here at the Hike to Hunt Challenge. I just shot a few targets today. You and I shot this together this morning.
Yep.
And yeah, so we've had fun. Aspen over here has shot some targets today. She did really well. And yeah, this has been a fun event. So I've got Noah from Prized Possessions out here today. Man, this has been a really cool thing. It's been fun to just brush shoulders with everybody because you see so much stuff on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like to finally put faces to names like, oh, this is the guy behind, this company, or this is the guy behind this company. So it's been, you and I have talked for a while.
Yeah.
And so it's cool now to finally connect. And then, yeah, just get to just kind of hang out a little bit this morning and shoot and have fun.
Yeah, man.
Did you fix your bow?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just
You lost that rod.
the arrow.
The well, no, the
Oh,
rod
well,
that
pin,
popped
yeah.
out of your
Pin,
thing.
pin's gone. We were just every time we tighten it back up to get that draw length right. It wasn't
Yeah.
perfect, but hey, we had fun.
Yeah, you still shot.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
good.
So you started Prized Possessions.
Yep,
Okay.
me, my dad, and my best childhood friend who was our engineer, Joey. We on a whim started it. We kind of started it in COVID with
Okay.
like a small product on Amazon.
Yeah.
Um,
What inspired that launch? Like, why?
Yeah, so going back to that, like during COVID, we didn't launch Prized Possessions. It wasn't that. My dad and I were messing around with some Amazon things. We were already selling stuff on Amazon, and we thought there was a hole in the market for a quality, affordable deer hook. That was it. We're like, let's do something with that. And I just graduated from getting my master's
Oh, cool.
in business. So we're like, let's just, it's COVID. We had nothing to do. Let's mosey around trying to make a product, see how Amazon does, and that did well.
Yeah.
We sold this cheap little hook. We sold thousands of them on Amazon, and that was that. That went for on for I think a couple years, and just kind of was in the background. My Joey designed it for us, and it was nothing crazy special, but had a place in her heart because it sparked everything else.
Sure.
And gosh, I always get the timeline wrong because I don't even remember. I probably gotta go looking in my phone for photos or something like that. But at some point, we decided to make an Arizona plaque that was the same design as our little cheap hook, and we did that. We posted on the Coos Whitetail forum, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yep.
We sold 300 of them in 3 weeks, and we're like, okay, this is kind of cool.
You're like, hey.
Yeah, like, maybe we're onto something, and we weren't trying to be onto something. It was just let's just have some fun, make some extra cash, and then it turned into engravings, and then we were making them out of steel, and they were heavy. And we moved to aluminum, and we launched New Mexico states, and people just kept getting excited about it. And for those who don't know, we make European mount plaques essentially, or solutions, mounts, rods, etc. But the bread and butter is our plaques.
Okay. That was kind of you kind of answered that a little bit, but like, was there like a specific trophy or memory that really sparked that first design? You're like, hey, I need this hook and I just don't see one. Was it like you had a Euro that you hung or something, or like?
No, like I said, yes, I guess we had we had skull hooker stuff, and we didn't love how they stuck out of the wall.
Yeah.
I think it's still a great business and has an awesome look.
Sure.
And it was also, like I said, I knew I wanted to start my own business, and we were dabbling with Amazon. So, there's not that cool, like, aha moment.
Yeah.
But we knew there was a need for better mounts, I guess. Not necessarily function-wise, but just kind of everything encompassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it did totally, because the only thing I've used so far was like bow hangers.
Yeah.
I've got like a single hook bow hanger, and like up until the solution that you guys have offered, like I was just using those as my European hanger.
And it works,
like,
yeah.
it kind of works. But yeah. What was the very first product? Was that specific hook just for the Euro?
Yep, that was our
Okay.
first product. We call it the OG hook, and there was no name for it because we sold it on Amazon. It was just, with Amazon, you just create a keyword-filled title. There was no, it was
Okay.
just a sturdy European mount hook.
Yep.
That's what it was. And that's, like I said, that's what sparked just the initial, it gave us everything else.
Right.
And then once we decided to start a business where we had some, stories behind it and whatnot.
Yeah. How did you decide on, like, I guess, one design, two materials used? Because you kind of talked about how you went from steel to aluminum.
Yeah.
Like, what led you to where? And
That's a good question. Yeah, that's actually a really good question. A lot more goes in, we just have plaques, right? Well, a lot more goes into it than you think. We were doing steel, then we started shipping these cross country or different states, and steel's heavy.
Yeah.
Then we started engraving. So if you engrave powder coated steel, well, then the raw steel shows, and the engraving does take all the coating off, and then it rusts.
Okay.
The rust ruins. I mean, although a rust look, a patina look looks great, but then it starts to bubble the powder coats. There's some of that.
Okay.
But then the biggest thing was we wanted to build a modular system. We wanted a hook that could be bought on its own that was low profile, but that could also be compatible with our plaque.
Okay.
And it just, the hook is steel. It's strong. That's what we needed. The reason the main plaque was steel was because we needed the hook to be strong. Now the plaque doesn't have any structural, necessity.
Okay.
So aluminum's cheaper. Aluminum is easier to work with.
Right.
It looks really good engraved. And then shipping costs are better.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Are all plaques and custom mounts, I guess, made in house? Like, you guys have a CNC place that you have to do it at and whatnot, or how does
Nope,
that
yeah.
go about sourcing? I mean, now you're like, I gotta find material. Wait.
Oh yeah. So we've grown so quick we can't do everything in house.
Okay.
We were doing powder coat in house. We always partnered with a local shop called Arizona Laser out of Tempe, Arizona.
Oh, cool.
They cut all of our aluminum.
Nice.
And then we do still powder coat some things in house.
Yeah.
But when we just have large runs of 500 or more.
Yeah.
We just can't keep up with
Yeah.
that. So then we outsource the powder coat as well.
Absolutely. I guess, what are the differences of like the subtle nuances? And maybe not even subtle, but what are the differences of your mount versus other ones that you've seen on the market?
Yeah. We'll start with the deer hook as we have some more advancements in
Right.
the elk rod or the skull lock mount.
Okay.
But for the deer hook, it's just a simple hook. It looks kind of similar to all the less expensive ones you can find on Amazon. But the biggest thing was it's quadruple the thickness. It's
Yeah.
steel.
Yeah.
It has a couple prongs that hold that skull in place
Okay.
better. And that was the biggest thing. We wanted low profile, sturdy. So we have three mounting holes. So you have three drywall anchors and three screws. So it's stronger.
Yeah.
And then the thickness was the biggest thing. You can't bend that with your hand. Where a lot of them you can just bend them. And if you have a 180-inch buck, it's just tipping over.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And you want to save those things, like
Exactly.
not falling off the wall is a good thing.
Exactly.
What can you talk us through, like, I guess, a typical order from hunter to hanger? Like, what does your average order consist of and look like when
Yeah.
people go on your website?
Definitely our most popular is the deer stuff. And what's been nice is last year before busy season, we created a somewhat streamlined process to order online. So most people just go online, they can customize, they can choose if they want topography engraved,
Yeah.
they can choose if they want text engraved, they can do that, all the basic stuff on the website. Super simple. Go to the website, choose the state, choose the size. We have two sizes for deer. And then you choose your engraving options, and that's pretty streamlined. You can go there, and we want to make that better, and it will, because there's so many things you can do with customizations.
Right.
But then a lot of times we get guys who want ultra custom, right? They want custom topography with their coordinates on it. They want a logo. They want a mountainscape, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That would just be either a phone call or an email. And right now
Okay.
we get back to you pretty quick, and we have pretty good lead times on that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What's been like some of the biggest challenges of just getting the company off the ground?
Cash flow.
Yeah.
And I think if you talk to any business owner, cash flow is the hardest thing. And
Sure.
what's different about us and other plaque companies, there's not many plaque companies like us. Maybe there's some Etsy guys out there, but we try to carry inventory of every plaque that we sell. So we have two sizes of deer plaques, and we have one size of elk, and we have 50 U.S. states, and we do Canada, we do Africa, Mexico. So we carry inventory of all that. So we're sitting on a lot of money of inventory at all times. So it's really hard sometimes and scary, like especially when we start new products. R&D is expensive, especially with some of the other stuff we want to do. So that's been the biggest challenge, is the cash flow aspect of it. Like we just moved into a warehouse, and now it's like, okay, now we got this much rent, to cover it. I'm like, so how many sales do we need this month? Oh, it's slow season. That's been the biggest challenge. We've been really lucky with marketing, and we don't do much marketing.
Okay.
But I think we've had a cool product that kind of speaks for itself, that's allowed us to grow. And then we've been lucky with our engineer, Joey. He's in-house. A lot of companies have to outsource that. That's expensive.
Yep.
I'm not sure if I may be going into too much depth there.
No, you're good, man. Keep going.
I could talk business all day because it's
Absolutely.
fascinating. It takes up my life. It encompasses me. But yeah, cash flow, I think anybody will answer. That's some of the biggest challenges. And then supply chain. Supply chain's been an issue lately. Our machine parts, we have to outsource overseas. We just can't afford it. No one's going to pay $300 for an elk rod, right? And we've been trying so hard to find local suppliers that can help with that.
Okay.
But we'd be buying them for the same price that we sell them.
Yeah.
And we're going to work really hard on trying to figure that out. But for right now, supply chain, all of our plaques are made here locally in Arizona, which is cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. What was do you remember the very first customer who wasn't a friend or family member?
I don't remember his name, but I do
Okay.
remember this guy off the Coos Whitetail Forum.
Yep.
And he wasn't our first customer because we had that one product we sold on Amazon, but you don't build that relationship with customers there.
Sure.
It was Coos Whitetail Forum, and there was multiple customers because we posted these. We had a bunch of people reach out on the forum, and I said, you know what? Let's meet at Bass Pro Shops in Mesa, and we'll sell a bunch. But this one guy was just so cool. I think he bought 15 from us.
Oh, wow.
And he sent it all to he was an older gentleman. He sent it all to his buddies through email, and I was getting emails from all of them. We want your plaques, and we sold a bunch of them there. And that's when we're like, we have something, that was cool. I still smile when I think about that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, that definitely feels good because it's like you think back upon the journey that that you've gone on. What kind of feedback has really like stuck with you the most from people?
We keep getting the good customer service, compliment, and just building relationships with your customers seems to be one of the best things we could do.
Yeah.
Word of mouth has been phenomenal for us. I mean, gosh, I think we've grown from word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that's just stuck with us forever.
course.
I mean, you have a marketing background, and
Yeah.
we're at that stage still where we're still small, we're growing quick, and that helps us out the most right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Even in my business and the media side of things and real estate and whatnot, like I live on word of mouth, man.
yeah,
Social media's been really good too,
100%.
but word of mouth is like everything because if
Yeah.
someone vouches for you,
Oh yeah,
to another person, it's like it already has a stamp of approval. This is a good proven product, and
exactly.
so then it just goes haywire.
Well, you build that loyalty, and
Right.
people want to work with you. They want to get on the phone, and talk to you, and I try and do that. If you call me, I'll probably talk hunting with you, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long that'll last because
Right.
you do get busy, and it's hard to sit on the phone for an hour. But
Yep.
I've done that. I've been on the phone with a guy for 5 hours talking about the kaibab.
Jeez.
I'm not kidding. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, I love talking hunt. I love the community. I know we'll get to
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that was kind of some of my next question was just like the emotional value in the product as well. Like, can you share a specific story that comes off top of your head of a hunter that just had a plaque or a mount that just meant the world to them?
Yeah, well, a lot of them. I can't even pinpoint all of them.
Sure.
But if we go back to motions, the one thing that does stand out, and it's not a customer necessarily, um, but we look back at one of my dad's first deer, which ended up being an absolute stud. I'm not sure we posted a sweet video of that in our shop with a big mule deer. That's my dad's first deer ever, and it was an absolute slammer. And I just think about that memory. Like, how do you preserve that?
Right.
How can you, it's going to last in your head forever, but
Right.
how can you share that, build a legacy out of that? And that's what we try to do with our customers. And
Of course.
I know it's kind of a
No.
workaround answer.
No, that was good, man. I mean, like that. My dad wasn't a hunter. He killed his first elk and he was 65 years old.
Yeah.
And that was like the greatest memory ever. It was,
Exactly.
I was almost more excited, I think, for him killing it
Oh,
than
yeah.
me killing one of my own.
Yeah.
I was just so pumped because I wanted it so badly for him. And, it worked out.
You never want that to end. You just want
Exactly.
all day, all night. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why do you believe like displaying trophies well, not just displaying them, but displaying them well is so much more than just decor? Can you kind of like verbalize what it means to us as hunters?
Yeah, kind of similar to what I just said. I mean, you're telling that story, you're making it live on forever. You never want it to end. It feels like it's a blip. It goes by so quick. You harvest it, that moment happens, and then you're packing out the animal. But there's so many stories. It's not just the anticipation of the hunt, the pack out, the shot. It's all that story. It's everything. We were in Montana. We were doing this. We hiked out 6 miles.
Yeah.
Like it holds that whole trip, that whole memory, that whole legacy.
Yeah.
And how do you do that and making it visually appealing as well? And I think there was a hole in the market, and there's some other brands coming out right now who are doing phenomenal jobs with that. But we wanted to be personal, which is why the engravings have been a big hit for us, and we have really big plans to make those even better and more a better aesthetic as well.
Okay.
Modern. We're going for that modern aesthetic, and some people like it. Most people like it. Some people don't.
I love it.
And we still got more things
looks sick.
coming. We always, we're always like now, like, gosh, we don't love how it looks because we have these plans in the future. But I think that's a good, obviously a good mentality to have.
Yeah. I like the innovation side of things. That's something I'm just super big on. I just went and did a workshop for some business stuff, and we were asked to write down one word of like what we wanted for our business, and mine was innovation. So it's like, yeah, because if you don't, I feel like you fall behind.
Hey, well,
Either your business will die, competition will pass you up, like just, your product might get played out kind of or whatever. So it's like coming up with new cool ideas.
Exactly.
Just keeping it fresh is a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you learned some good stuff from that trip too. We talked about it.
That was an awesome. And I had always kind of been on the edge of doing something like that. And I wish I had started doing things like that sooner, just pushing myself. One of the guys that I went with put it so perfectly. He's like, dude, as a business owner, I pour into people constantly, 24/7. I'm pouring into my customers, pouring into like, he's got some employees and stuff. I don't, but he's like, it was nice for a change for like 3 to 4 days to have someone pour back into me. And he's like, I feel like so refreshed. I can't wait to get back and crush it. So I
Yeah.
was like, dude, he's like, I do one of these every year. And so I
You
was
need
like,
it. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, and there's always someone out there that you can learn from. It doesn't matter if they're
Oh, yeah.
better than you or worse than you. There's someone always has knowledge in a different aspect of life,
100%.
and you can apply it to anything. So
Be careful. Don't shoot my guest with a hair tie, please. My daughter's sitting next to us and she's fooling around with a hair tie. Yeah, I was talking to, it was either Sam or Steve down at the canyon in Scree here. And he was kind of saying the same thing. Like we were talking about how, when a lot of guys, when we're younger, we're a little cocky sometimes, right? And he's like, man, the moment I removed like my ego and just understood that education was like just a propellant for being growth, absurd growth. And the same thing, like I can definitely feel and speak to that as well. It's like once I learned like forever the student, never the master, like dude, then it's like you really start getting hungry and
Oh,
like
yeah.
you grow so fast. Yeah.
And it's crazy. Once that flip or that switch flips,
Uh-huh.
it's exponential in what you are able to do. And yeah, it's a mentality that,
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of people understand, and it's great in this community. A lot of people understand. And that's why this events like this, networking and
Right.
meeting great people just
I think that's what's so
helps.
good about archery and hunting is it's just it humbles you real
Oh, yeah.
quick.
It's hard.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. It humbles you, and you're like, gee, I got a lot to learn here still.
Anyone that's successful, especially out west,
Right.
or spot and stock archery on, man, if you're successful, you have some grit in you and you're willing to work hard. And
Yeah.
that's cool.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's tease it up for part 2. So we're gonna dive a little bit into some of the custom work. I want to ask you lots of cool questions about the custom stuff that you're doing because I think that's sick. Maybe just a wild customer request. I don't know if you've ever gotten anything weird that you're like, I mean, that's strange, but okay. And then kind of the best ways that you can honor the next harvest, and even if it's maybe your first one for some of the new people that are out there getting into it.
Yeah, cool.
We'll see you guys in part 2. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for listening to the Bowhunting AZ podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast and smash those 5 stars on iTunes or Spotify and leave a little review at the bottom. It'll really help us out. For our short films, go subscribe over on YouTube. Just search Bowhunting AZ. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bowhunting AZ. Good luck to everyone this season. Thank you again for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.